Well, that sets up debate number one on the news hour this evening. NDA or the UPA, what has changed? Because the thorny issues remain. It's not an acne. And when Kiren Rijiju says that, no, we are not like the Congress, it's a little hard to believe. Good evening to our guests, C.R. Keshavan of the Congress, Nalin Kohli of the BJP, K.C. Singh, former Secretary of the MEA, Maruf Raza, Strategic Affairs expert, and also good evening to Professor Madhu Bhalla, who's a professor, Department of East Asian Studies at the Delhi University. First question to Mr. Nalin Kohli. What Kiren Rijiju said, that we are unlike the Congress, the NDA government, somehow in this matter, especially China, doesn't cut ice, Mr. Nalin Kohli.
Well, actually, Anand, that may hold true for many things because, we need to understand that the questions that the BJP raised at the end of a decade of a tenure, 10 years when an 8-year-old child ended up voting in the 2014 election, that's what a decade is entitled to ask if there is no action. This is being asked of us at the beginning of a tenure, which is, I think, probably less than, almost close to about 4 months. So certainly, what has changed is the government showed its intent immediately, which was evident when the Prime Minister addressed the nation along with the Chinese President and said, I've raised the border issue. I don't recall a single instance where the Prime Minister of India in the last 10 years, before Mr. Narendra Modi, said anything like that, was on a platform where he said something. Things have changed.
Yeah, Mr. Nalin Kohli, today, this evening, the Congress and also the likes of Maruf Raza and K.C. Singh and Professor Madhu Bhalla would want to counter you. But here's the thing. At least the lines should change. Now, I'm just going to quote what the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh said on July 2014. Along the border, incursions along the border take place due to the difference of perception about the boundary. How is that different from what Mr. Salman Khurshid, the then External Affairs Minister, back in November 2013 said? But of course, incursions are occurring in the context of a different perception of what the line of actual control is and where it should be. So the lines are also the same.
Absolutely. Well
Position is also the same.
Question.
Position is also the same. So where the aggression goes out of the window?
No. Yes.
So what you were when you were opposition?
Because the difference is... No. I'll answer that, Anand, because the question is valid. Point is, this is a historical legacy. And that's exactly what the inheritance is. The question that comes is the government going to do anything? And is the government doing anything? And that's exactly what is the point we are trying to say. A lot of things were said about everything in this country, but economic growth didn't take place, it declined. Many things, so you just don't keep saying, yes, this is the problem. The question is somebody working to solve the problem? And it could have been done. 10 years is a long period of time. That's the basic difference between doing and only speaking. Right. In this case, speaking and doing both happen together.
Are they happening, C.R. Keshavan? Are they happening? Because on the one hand, they say the border issues will be, there has been discussion on the border issues, and the next moment we see 1,500 on that side, 1,000 on this side, the face-off intensifies, civilians, army, everybody being positioned. And then you have the Chinese president saying, be ready for a regional war.
And there are two issues here. First, we look at it in terms of national interest. Then I'll look at I'll tell you what the problem with the BJP government is. First, let us always understand whenever there has been a high-profile visit, whether it's Hu Jintao in 2006 or Li Keqiang, as premier on his first visit in 2013, when Depsang happened, and even now, the Chinese have a pattern, of one-upmanship and having these intrusions and infiltrations. This has happened before. It happened even during the UPA's time, and it's happening now. But the question and the difference is the approach. And I want to collect Kohli ji very clearly here. Mr. Manmohan Singh took a very strong stand with Mr. Li Keqiang when Depsang happened. And even when he went to China, he strongly condemned it, saying that there's nothing, nothing will go forward unless, you settle the disputes in an amicable way. But I just want to point out 2 points here without interruption. See, look at the way the BJP government has handled this. First thing, the problem is they've gone overboard. Trade and commerce, we have to be careful here. Trade and commerce cannot be a substitute for, national security. Look at the way, the people of the Northeast were not let into hotels where the Chinese president was staying. Even the employees of the hotels were barred from coming as the report.
That's a lie.
No, let me complete.
That's a lie. And that's another example. Yes, it's a lie. That's why I'm interrupting you, Mr. Keshavan. Because that is incorrect. Just as always, as the Congress party doesn't do its homework. That's absolutely been denounced. There's an official press release of the party on it. incorrect. Please go to BJP and check it out. You are incorrect, Mr. Keshwan. You are incorrect as you have been for most of it.
Now, Mr. Nalin Kohli, you've made your Mr. Nalin Kohli, well, you've raised your objection. You've made your objection evident. C.R. Kesavan, go ahead. What's point number 2?
The Intelligence Bureau is probing it. So there is a problem. And today, the Nagpur speaker, who is also part of the NDA, has condemned it and said it's an insult and a humiliation for the people of the Northeast to be
right. You made a point. Second point.
The speaker said this. No, second point. Second point is this. Most important. You have to see, today the incursions have escalated that the army chief has not gone to Bhutan. He's cancelled it. And the incursions and infiltrations are happening in such a brazen and blatant way. And what do? We make, they have a Gujarat press conference where there is the Arunachal Pradesh. The Arunachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir have been shown by the government of Gujarat in the maps as they're in dispute and they're in a way. And what I'm saying is this, that the timid and faint-hearted approach of this government has made the Chinese
sometimes Mr. C.R. Kesavan, with all due respect, with all due respect,
let me complete one point.
You've raised your point. With all due respect, I'm going to go across to our other panelists also who be quick rebuttal Nalin Kohli, and then I'm going to go to our other panelists because both the Congress and the BJP, both political parties or both governments today stand a little exposed as far as their position or the inability to deal with the China's position is concerned. But Nalin Kohli, quick rebuttal to what Mr. Kesavan had to say.
Yes, absolutely. First of all as always, the Congress is high on rhetoric and low on facts. If you don't have even the time, visit www.bjp.org, see the official press release, and I'm just going to read out 2 sentences from it. During the visit of the dignitaries, staff working in the Hotel Hyatt from the northeastern region were present in the hotel doing their respective duties. In fact, one of the main chefs who catered the Chinese delegation was from the Northeast. The person in charge of the main banquet was a lady from the Northeast, etc., etc. Last sentence. We strongly condemn the false news being propagated by Western interests in tarnishing the image of Gujarat. Well, I mean, just exactly.
Right, you know what?
I said you are
Mr. Nalin Kohli and Mr. C.R. Kesavan, the issue right now, it is not about what happened to the people from the Northeast in the capital. Please, Mr. Nalin Kohli and C.R. Kesavan, I'm going to go across to Maruf Raza and KC Singh. I request both the Congress and the BJP to please wait.
But I can't help it. That's exactly
Professor Madhu Balla, I'm also coming across to you.
The country wouldn't be
now,
where it is.
Mr. Kesavan and Mr. Nalin Kohli, I request you to please maintain some decorum. Let's bring in our other panelists also. Mr. Kesavan, please wait on. Mr. Kesavan, please wait on. Now, Mr. KC Singh and Maruf Raza, good evening, and Professor Madhu Balla, good evening. Now, Mr. KC Singh, my question to you is, if a minister from the Congress calls this problem a problem of acne, then the BJP cannot dismiss it. They were upset at that point in time that it is not acne. But now in the case of 334 incursions this year, and with the Chinese president on Sunday telling the PLA, be ready to combat a regional war, and the MOS home coming out and saying it's not such a big problem, they're not talking about India, then who is China talking about? So with both the governments, are they taking this problem seriously?
One is the partisan. One is the partisan bickering. It's inevitable that this is a national problem. Dealing with China, it didn't start yesterday. We've had it from the 50s. Whoever is the incumbent will have to essentially face the same problem and essentially have the same kind of solution. You can package it differently. You can receive the Chinese president differently with a little more flourish. You can sit on the swing and swing with him, but ultimately the fundamentals take over. And the fundamentals are that what was happening up in Leh took away from the build-up to the visit and the outcomes from the visit. Very clearly, there's a dilution that came about. And the Chinese have always done it, as has been mentioned earlier, in case of other visits, but never was it coterminous, never was it simultaneous, that the visit was taking place and they did it, because you had no option. You couldn't send the president of China back, so you had to encounter it. Now, the second thing is the meeting which took place in China. I think we should look at that in a slightly different context. I don't think that meeting was India-specific, because you cannot summon the PLA top brass at 2 days' notice. They met last Sunday.
Yes.
And what he has said, the full statement is, PLA should be prepared for a regional war in the context of information and technology. Now that doesn't just apply to India. Probably it applies more to US or to Japan, because they're using cyber warfare and they're using electronics as part of their military operations. But nevertheless, it is a signal to India too, because China has a problem with us. It has in the South China Sea, the air defense zone. It has over the Senkaku Islands with Japan. So the Chinese president is sending a signal to the PLA. There is some promotions he's making there of some of his favorites. There is some shake-up, and that is where he's talked of loyalty to him. And he's also been purging some officers based on corruption. So there is internal shake-up taking place in the PLA. Part of that is internal. There is an external signal which we should not ignore. And that is why I think Government of India, considering the Defense Minister is unwell and the Prime Minister is going to be away, has probably cancelled the visit of the Defense.
No, but what message is China sending out, KC Singh? And I'm going to go across to Maruf Raza on this. What message is China sending out?
Yeah, one last. The message is very clear. Message is very clear that they're going to have forward patrolling up to their perception of line of actual control, and they're going to contest your build-up of infrastructure. So they are becoming more.
So we allow China to contest it. Maruf Raza, we allow China to contest it. Is it some? No. I'm going to go across to Maruf Raza now. Is it something that we do not know? Yeah. What has been done to, because everybody points fingers at everybody else. ITBP Army says we want control of ITBP. ITBP is not doing its job. Border roads are not building roads. But everything is about guarding our borders, isn't it? Isn't everybody working in the interest of the country?
Anand, see, I mean, Mr. KC Singh has brought out some very valid points, and so have the two distinguished speakers before that. Let me try and sort of put a slightly different context to it all. The first thing is that we have to change Chinese perception about us. Now, let us not get into bickering, and let's not try and say who got it wrong and who didn't. I mean, we all know the history of Sino-Indian relations, and we all know people by and large who are seen to be the culprits of the humiliation of 62 and beyond. But the point I want to make is 3 or 4. The first is China has a tendency to push its luck on territorial claims with its neighbors till the neighbor stands up to China. As Mr. KC Singh said, on the Senkaku Islands, they've been doing it. I mean, I saw an interesting photograph in a magazine said, are these two countries going to go to war over these pieces of rocks in the ocean? In the South China Sea, they're claiming that they were there from 250 BC onwards, and therefore the South China Sea belongs to them. They've got historical angles to everything, and they are just sticking to their line. Now the problem, that's the first problem, is that we have done nothing to alter Chinese perception, with the exception of 2 events in history, that was in 67 and 1986-87 during Sundarangchu and Nathula, where military commanders took it upon themselves to browbeat the Chinese back, and they pulled back. What is happening right now, whether you call it a previous legacy, whether you call it currently the government is still to articulate and formulate a more aggressive policy, we are basically in South Block carrying the hangover of the past, where the whole approach is that don't upset the Chinese, we'll kind of talk our way through with it. Remember, Krishna Menon boasted that I will outdo the Chinese in a verbal dialogue, in a debate. We don't need to fight them. I'll fight them verbally and see what happened. So there's one. The second point is, why is China doing it? It'll be instructive to read the book by Martin Jacques. It's called When China Rules the World. China wants to bottle and box India into the subcontinent. It's created Pakistan as another North Korea to counter India's growing might and influence. It is going to wait and watch very carefully after what Modi Saab has achieved in Japan and our president has achieved in Vietnam. They are very wary. They're going to wait and watch very carefully how the US visit of the Prime Minister pans out.
They don't look very, Maruf Raza, and I'm going to go back.
Anand, let me complete. Anand, please let me complete. What I'm trying to say is that until the visit of the Prime Minister to the US gets done, the Chinese are going to push and push, because if India doesn't accommodate Chinese interests, they're only going to get more aggressive.
So my reminder is
that the 62 war 52 years ago happened in the months of September, October. The Chinese find this weather conducive to use everything they've put together since 1996 on the Ladakh and the Tibetan plateau, and
Maruf,
they are going to try
Maruf,
and muscle their way
let's
into
go
our
back.
territory. We must get together comprehensively to put together a national response.
Right.
I'm sorry, right now there are 3 ministries involved and they're all divided over how to approach the Chinese.